everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of the Peach State Power Hour presented by UGAsports.com and M. Jones Heating and Cooling, mjoneshvac.com. We'll touch on them in a little while. Guys, we appreciate you joining us on this off week. I don't know how many of you guys are going to be here, but I hope you're not outside like Eddie and going to catch a cold tonight. We appreciate you watching, though.
Perfect.
Marshmutt's here, so we know Marshmutt's. He's here with us.
Marshmutt's always here. We appreciate Marshmutt. Guys, if it's your first time watching, let us know where you're watching from. If it's your 50th time watching, check in with us. Let us know you're here. And as always, your questions help move this show along. Without the Dogs playing this weekend, we were able to watch a few other games, right? And take a look at some other teams, kind of watch Georgia's, a couple teams that Georgia saw us to play. We're playing this weekend, so we'll touch on that. Also, we might have more than 5 minutes of Falcons talk tonight since the Dogs did not play. So, and then even so, we might touch on some Atlanta Braves, some off-season Atlanta Braves talk. That's what's in the show notes tonight, guys, to give you a rundown on it. Before we get going, though, let me pass it on and ask the fellas, how was their weekend? Andy, I'll start with you, my friend.
Hey, it was good. It does suck when you have an off week, but I did get to go to the Monster Truck Rally because there was no Georgia football game. So
you said what?
I went to a Monster Truck Rally. So yeah.
Of course. I mean, that's what you do when you're from Royston, right? That's
Monster Truck Rally.
Why are you calling Monster?
Monster. I didn't say Monster. Did I say Monster?
You said Monster twice.
No,
Monster.
I mean, Paul.
I'm from Royston, dude. I can't speak good, dude. It's good.
I understood what you said. You did not say Munster. He said monster.
They had it. They had big trucks. Big trucks going over cars.
That seems like something you would do on a bye week. Yes,
it's they had it right up at the Livonia Speedway. So
that or going to wrestling, one of the two. Right?
You can go to wrestling on Friday nights right here in Royston. So.
No, you could probably do it last night too. I mean, whatever.
Eddie, what you do this weekend? Please tell me it's better than watching cheese.
Yeah,
like Andy did.
I did not do that. I watched high school football Friday. I watched football all day Saturday, and I watched football all day today. And I just want to say this real quick about last week's game, and we'll end it, and we'll never talk about it again. So I just kind of brings it home. Okay, we all talked about the bottle throwing, the Texas thing that happened, right? This is what hit me hard this week. I'm sure y'all heard it. It's on UGAsports.com. Jim Donnan talked about that at length, okay? And he brought up the fact, Paul, that if you remember years ago when he was the coach, the Jasper Sanks fumble. You remember that? And there was no review in place. Well, you don't remember it.
You don't remember that, Paul? Was it 90
years old, dude?
I mean, you can look at things, Paul. You can pull it up. Anyway, the point is Jasper Sanks fumbled, quote unquote. There was no review back then on the goal line. We're going in for the score. They called it a fumble on the field. There was no review. It was not a fumble. His knee was down, Andy, whatever. He was down.
Yeah.
And we should have won the football game.
Yeah.
And to this day, Jim Donnan still thinks about that play and how different his career would be if that had not been called a fumble. So the referees, their jobs aren't on the line, but guess whose jobs are on the line?
Coaches.
The coaches when it comes to calls like that. So that call was egregious, wrong, ridiculous. Thank God we won the football game, but something has to be done about these crappy refs costing people their jobs and livelihoods.
Well, I agree. And also think about the national championship game. 1-8-18. What happened in that game? We got screwed. So, and Kirby would have 3 rings already and maybe looking at a 4th. So, yes, I agree. I'm with you.
There's I see where you're going with that, Eddie. I don't think had that game gone the other way, somebody would have lost their job. But I see what you're saying. I feel like you took it from here and you extrapolated it a little bit, but that's okay.
I did. And that game is not a good comparison, but I'm just talking about what Jim Donnan went through because of a call, a blown call. Okay.
But to the credit, technology has advanced since when did you say that game happened? 1960 when you were 15?
It has, but didn't ETN score a touchdown and they still ruled it on the 1? So, technology is advanced, but I don't know. Are these referees smoking dope? Because they're looking at the thing. Yeah, they might be. and I might need to start smoking dope to deal with some of these calls. Clear touchdown. They reviewed it and said, "Oh, it's not a touchdown." And even the announcers, we talked about it, are saying, "Okay, enough." You get me. Actually, Andy gets my point. You don't, Paul. So
I'm glad. That's where we took the show. I'm glad that people are still here after that 5 minutes.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Thank you.
What's on your hand there, Andy?
What is that? So, can you see the camera?
Yeah.
There we go.
National championship ring. How about that?
Stetson Bennett, right?
Yeah. So how about that? So this one is actually a fake, but a quick little story. I had a job offer from the Athletic Association in 2021 when the Dogs won the national championship. If I would have taken the offer, and the only reason I didn't is because they wanted me to work like extra home basketball games, and it was going to be like some weird thing how they were going to do the scheduling. And so I was like, I asked for an extra $10,000. They said no, so I didn't go. We won the national championship. They gave out real national championship rings to every employee of the Athletic Association. Ooh. If you worked in maintenance, if you worked in, housekeeping, whatever, you got a national championship ring. So I have actually seen several of the real rings, but this is a fake. But Eddie had got it, and it was pretty awesome. And I was like, you know what? I'm wearing it for the show. So it is cool. But I could have had a real ring sitting on my shelf back here, but unfortunately I was stupid and did not take the job. So
yeah, I thought you would enjoy that. I sent that to him. So
we got Dogs Rolling Loud in here. What's going on? We, of course, got Marshmutt Garrett Key in the building. He says, when is Georgia going to do a drone show at Sanford? Everyone else is doing it. Guess we'll continue to sing We're Not Going to Take It.
They can't. They actually can't. I heard the associate athletic director said there's some plane regulation or something.
Well, I mean, you have Ben Epps right down the road.
Yeah. And the planes come right over.
Yeah. They literally cannot do it. Yeah.
And that's exactly where the planes come over. We see like the planes flying in every day, but especially on a game when they're flying out and stuff, we see the planes coming in. So
that would make sense.
Yeah.
Brett Weimer says, great end to the Washington-Chicago game. I was trying to watch that. It just didn't end in time. Let me know what happened in that game.
What happened?
I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know what happened.
So the Dogs were off this week, obviously. So were the Florida Gators.
Yeah.
And seems like to me, Florida has a little bit juice behind them.
They got a little mojo going, don't they? Yeah.
And
they do, no doubt.
I've seen some fans out there, some Georgia fans that are a little scared of this game.
A little concerned, yeah.
I don't see it, guys. You're gonna have to convince me that Florida can do something here.
I see a lot of Florida fans that are very confident. Like I've seen videos of Florida fans saying, even chanting, "We want Georgia," and saying they are going to win out. That they are DJ Lagway's the truth, which he may be, but they are confident that they're going to win out the rest of the year. So, I personally don't see it. I think DJ Lagway may be the truth, but
I think he is. I think he is the truth.
But it's a little bit different playing the Dogs than it is playing Kentucky. And given Kentucky's always hard on Georgia, no doubt about it. But you also saw after Georgia beat Kentucky, they sort of fallen off now. They're just sort of in a free fall. But
Eddie, you are by far the biggest pessimist of the three of us.
Can you Garrett Key on here? Garrett Key may be.
Well, yeah. The link's not open, or Garrett.
Yeah,
Garrett would. But Eddie's got that. Speaking of, Daniels apparently launched a Hail Mary, and they won the game on a Hail Mary from Jaden.
Oh wow! Holy cow!
So that's pretty cool. Eddie, I know this is off the cuff here, and we did not prepare for this, but tell me how Florida beats Georgia. You're the most pessimistic guy in this group. How does Florida? Because there's people out there that truly think this is going to be a game. Convince me a little bit.
The only way is DJ Lagway's legs. I think that's how they beat us.
Yeah,
that's it. He gets loose in the pocket and makes some. We cover everything perfectly, and he finds green grass and takes it for 30 yards or houses a touchdown. That's it. But I'll go back to. I mean, I'm not convinced that their defense can stop our offense. Now, I would say our season is the next 3 games, right? I mean, I'm not saying anything out of turn. You guys know this. What do we have? Florida, Ole Miss, and Tennessee are the next 3 games, right? Did I do that right in order?
I don't know if you got it in order. We've only gone over the schedule 19 times. Florida, Ole Miss, and Tennessee. Yeah.
Okay, so I did get it right. Okay. I mean, that's our season. That's the playoffs, right? Now, are we going to go 3-0 in those games? That's the question. That is the question.
Look, I feel like it. The Texas game has completely won me back over a little bit.
Yeah,
and
I understand.
The offense is still scary to me. But Ole Miss hasn't looked good in their previous few games.
No.
Tennessee hasn't looked good.
Nope.
Florida's looked better, but I mean, and I guess the thing with the Florida game is it's in Jacksonville, right? You know,
yeah.
Weird.
There's always something that could go weird down there. But I truly don't see it. But there's people out there that do.
So the Mississippi State Bulldogs are dead last in the conference. They've given up 477.5 yards a game. Next in the conference is the Florida Gators. They've given up 370.9 yards per game. Put it into context, Georgia has given up 304.9 yards per game. So that's a difference of 70 yards. And, you know, it's like, that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Boom. But
Garrett Key says, I feel I want to trust RD, but I know this team could revert back to a UK dud. Boy, Garrett is get him off the ledge, guys.
Well, I'll give you my summation of the next 3 games. And I'm kind of with Garrett. I hate to say this, but I hate to just say I want to see what happens in this Florida game before I say they go 3-0. Okay, but that's where I am. I want to see it.
Have you not seen enough so far?
No, absolutely not. I've seen 2 halves and a pretty good defense. Well, I'll say an excellent defensive plan against Kentucky. Fantastic. If we play defense like that the rest of the year, there's not a team in the country that can.
You mean against Tech? Are you talking
against Texas? Against Texas, there's not a team in the country that can beat us. But I still have questions on the offense, Paul. I still have questions. I want to see this against Florida. I want to see it continue. Okay. And I mean, what do we have? 2 halves and the Texas game. Other than that, it's been disjointed. That's the best way to describe it.
It has.
Right?
It definitely has.
It's something has been off. Okay. So, and it's mainly offensive. That's a double entendre there, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It's the offensive side of the football is what it's been. The defense that showed up against Texas is what we've been waiting on all year. I'll take that all day long. But I want to see it. Now, I'm not saying we're going to lose to Florida. I think we beat Florida, okay? If we beat Florida going away, I'm in. I'm done. We're going to go to the playoffs.
So they have to. So for you, the spread is what 17.5.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So if they cover the spread, you're good with them.
I'm in. Yeah.
What if they win by 10? What if they win by 10?
Well, depends.
Are we still kind of sitting? Are we sitting here going, man, something went wrong?
Yeah, if we win by 10, I think. Well, it depends, Paul. I mean, we've watched this team, and there've been so many drop passes, right? You drop a pass, and it could have been 17, and it ended up being 10. I mean, you can't say. I don't know. You can't just define that number right now, right? I don't think. But
Scott Anderson says it opened at 23.5.
Really? Got bet down?
Damn.
I don't know.
With the $1.99 donation, appreciate you, Casey. Says Florida is 2-5 in the last 5 games, blew out Mississippi State and Kentucky. Yeah. Garrett Key says that defense that showed up against Texas can win you a natty, even with the continued struggles of Beck. That D against Texas can overcome almost anything.
So he just cut and pasted what I just said. But
yeah.
So I do. That's a good point, Eddie / Garrett. But so let's talk about Beck. Just think about this. We had 8 drop passes. What if it's just 4 drop passes?
Mm-hmm.
Just 4. I know that's a big, still 4 is a lot. What if it's just 4 passes?
43.
43 to 7. Yeah, I'm with you. That's what we completely destroy that team.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't just put it all on Beck's shoulders. We have to say, because, I think he starts getting, pushing or he's pressured a little bit. He's trying to force things because he's they're dropping balls. But if it's just 4 drop balls versus 8, we completely destroy that team. And we're all sitting here saying there's no way anyone can touch us. So I don't want to put it all on Beck, but yeah, I'm with you, Eddie. I think they need to go out to Florida and they need to show up. They need to get off the bus. I think they need to destroy Florida. I want to see them go out there and dominate Florida like they dominated Texas and more.
I think the defense is 100% on board now. Like they won against Texas pretty handedly. I mean, they were able to get home. They were able to.
The confidence thing. I think the
confidence is there for the defense. Now this will be interesting. This will be interesting if it spreads over from the defense to the offense. Can the offense gain some? Because the offense right now just doesn't have confidence. There's no confidence in the throws, the catch, the run blocking, the runs. I mean, there's zero confidence. You can just watch the offense. There's zero continuity. It feels like sometimes there's really no confidence in like, hey, we can go to this guy, and we keep bringing up Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers, and I mean, you see what they're doing in the league right now. They're crushing it.
They're stars in the NFL. Yeah. I mean,
Brock Bowers has the most catches of any tight end in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you don't have those guys, but you have to have somebody step up on this latter part of the season. And it very well could be Arian Smith. He's got 450 receiving yards already. I mean, I said this in the truck with my business partner. We were riding to a job. I said, Arian Smith might be your next 1,000-yard receiver after Terrence Edwards. He's got a shot at it. He's 550 more.
Mm-hmm.
And that right there, I was like,
that's crazy. Yeah,
crazy to think he's got 450 yards already.
But you bring up a good point about the leadership, Paul. You got a leader back last week in Jared Wilson. You know you're getting back against Florida?
Tate
Ratledge, another human. I would say he's the leader of the offense right there on the offensive line, right?
Okay.
So that to me is a massive get back right there against Florida.
You can't him nor Wilson can catch passes though.
Exactly.
Yeah, but they can protect Beck, and he can sit there all day and eat his lunch against Florida and then pick out a receiver.
But look what Jalen Walker did. Jalen Walker, I'm going to say skill player on defense. Jalen Walker's a skill player. He went out and dominated, and he's the vocal guy.
Why? Why did he dominate?
I don't know that answer. What do you mean?
Because Michael Williams. No. I'm not trying. No, I'm saying he dominated. He hadn't dominated like that since Clemson. He dominated.
I'm with you.
Michael Williams was
playing
back.
off of one another. I'm with you. Okay. I was like, I don't have a clue what you're asking. I was like, cause he sacked the quarterback a bunch. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. He had good stats.
He looked really dominant. I don't know. He ran by the guy, knocked him down, tackled him. I don't know. No, I'm with you. Yeah. So you are right. But I'm just saying you need a skill player, someone that, because you're not, unless Tate Ratledge is giving up 3 sacks a game, and you're not going to hear about them as much, So you want a guy that's out there making the plays. So you want a skill player to be that alpha. But maybe it is Arian Smith. Maybe he is that guy that can do it. But he's got to stop dropping balls. Can't drop wide open passes. So,
2 keys to victory, guys. 2 keys to victory. Andy, I'll start with you because Eddie's scratching his ear or something like that.
Okay.
What are your two keys to victory?
So my 2 keys is kind of 1, but it's also the same. It's 2. My first key is to keep DJ Lagway under 30 yards rushing. We can't let him go crazy, run around. I think in last week versus Kentucky, I think he ran for 30. I had to pull it up. He ran for
I'm pulling it up right now. Let me see.
He ran for 46 versus Florida, 10 for 46. I think we got to keep him under 30. And then my second key, which is kind of the same, is keep their halfback, Jaden Baugh, however you say his name, under 70 yards. Mm-hmm. So if you can kind of corral those guys to 100 yards combined, they're not going to have a great day. Because if you can keep Lagway, if you make him a pocket passer, even though he's got the killer arm and he's going to be great, make him beat you from the pocket. He went 7 for 14 versus Kentucky. He had a long of a 58. He had a couple of big plays, but make him be a pocket passer. Do not let him run around, and keep Jaden Baugh under 100 or under 70 yards. And I think Georgia would win going away. It wouldn't even be close.
What about you, Eddie?
Well, mine's similar. And somebody just put it up there. Who put that one that just came up there, Paul, again? Blitz Lagway. That's huge, but it's a slow blitz. That's what you got to do against Lagway. And I wrote down, Andy, it's similar to yours, a little bit different, though. Keep him one-dimensional. Make him beat you with his arm, not his legs.
He's got to be a
Packer. And they can do that. They can absolutely do that. And then the second thing, Florida's averaging 30.7 points per game. Okay, they're 47th in the nation. By the way, we're 33. We're 35th in the nation. Keep them under 30, and I think we can do that. But they're not going to score 30 points against us, right? No way.
No,
so
not at all.
Keep them under 30, and we win this game.
So I'm curious because when you said keep Lagway under 30, I was like, man, I feel like he runs more than that. So I went and looked at it. He's only been sacked 6 times this year. He had 2 sacks against Kentucky and Tennessee in the last 2 games. So he actually had 46 yards on 10 carries against Kentucky and then 5 carries for 1 yard against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought he was more kind of a
Now, was Mertz still healthy at that game or not? Because Mertz may have still been playing.
I think Mertz last game, I think did he get hurt in the Tennessee game?
He may have.
It looks like it because he only was 9 of 17 for 98 yards.
Yeah.
But he was only 7 for 14 versus Kentucky, and he played the whole game. So, yeah.
I don't know. I agree with you. Keep Lagway contained could be one of them. The other one, get out of your own way on offense.
Oh, yes. I like that.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Just kind of stop tripping over yourself. Stop these dumb penalties. Stop the drops. Just play
the penalties.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect against Florida. It doesn't have to be perfect against Ole Miss. You probably got to be somewhat perfect against Tennessee, but I've also seen Tennessee a little shaky to me.
Yeah.
But just go out there, and it doesn't even have to be a Georgian offense from years past. Go out there and just don't trip over yourself. Don't get in your own way. And I think you're fine there. That's my 2 keys. Keep Lagway in check, and basically just stay out of your own way on the offensive side of the ball. You can move the ball on this Florida team.
If a 10 is a perfect game for the Dogs offense, what do they need to be to basically destroy that team? Just again, you don't have to be a 10, because if you're a 10,
when you say destroy, are we saying like cover the spread 17.5 is what I would consider. Okay.
4 touchdowns.
Yeah, but what is the defense on that? I mean, you say that the offense.
I'm talking about the offense. I'm only talking about the offense at this point.
You can't just say that.
Yeah.
Hang on.
What if the defense plays like the
give us a defense. Give us a defense 1 through 10, and I can give you what the offense is.
Right, exactly.
The defense gives you a 7. The defense gives you a 7. The offense needs to give you a.
So are we saying last week was a 10 against Texas?
Last week was a 10, right?
Last week's a 10. Yeah.
Okay. A 7?
If the defense gives you a 7, the offense needs to give you a
7.
All right, Eddie. Let's play this game for Andy because I like hypothetical.
Good game. It's a good game.
Yeah. Good 7 would be what? 27 points given up. 24.
How do you equate that?
No, I would say
equate that to points.
That's what I'm asking. I'm asking.
So if a 10 last week was 15,
a 7 would be around 24 points, right?
But that's also a different team, though. Texas was the number 1 team in the country. Florida. So if you give a 7 against,
he's making it harder.
Now the
goalposts are moving, but it's just a matter of let's make it simple. If Georgia keeps the Florida Gators under X amount of points, let's go with 21 points.
Okay.
How many points do you think the Dogs offense will score at that range?
30.
You think 30 to 21?
Yeah.
You would be
31 to 21 would probably be.
They've done all year. They've done that basically all year.
Yeah. Okay. So that would equate to the Georgia offense giving you a 6?
Yeah, maybe a 5. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's probably a 6. You're right, Paul.
I thought that game was going to be a hell of a lot cooler. You put a lot more stipulations on that than I really wanted.
Well, y'all started asking questions, and it started changing things.
It started off as a banger and ended up into nothing.
Right. We lost half the crowd on that question. They were in it, and then it just got worse and worse.
Okay.
KC says the offense will need to be a 10. This is a good one. How do you do, Mr. Wiley? CJ Wiley decommitted from Florida State. He's a player. He's a player.
Yeah, we need to get him.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll leave that for the rumors versus facts, guys. They're tracking
awesome.
that down.
When he committed to Florida State, who was number 2 on his list?
Georgia, yeah.
That's my point. So,
Yeah.
Who's number 3? Do you know, Paul?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay.
Couldn't tell you. His interviews are not the greatest.
Who's number 7 though?
No, that's ridiculous. Who's next in line?
Marshmutt said, "You had us, then you lost us." Yeah. It was cool for a while. It was cool. Foster's in the building, says, "Hope we beat Florida 50-3." That would be cool.
There you go.
Well, don't we all? I mean,
that would be a nice post game overreaction show. I feel like, and I'm just projecting here for next week's post game overreaction show. I feel like it's still not going to be a great. It's not going to be a great overreaction show. There's going to, in terms of like everybody's happy, there is going to be a lot of stuff to overreact to. I feel like in that game. Now they could change my mind. Chet Summer says he was in Texas A&M this weekend. Texas A&M is hot right now on the recruiting trail, and rightfully so. They got the money, they got a coach,
and they got a hell of a win. They got a hell of a win last night.
Yeah,
wow.
That stuff will help you out big time. Before we get over to the Falcons here, Garrett Key with a question. He says, "How many teams does the SEC get in for the playoffs? 3, 4 doesn't seem likely to me." Playoffs come out next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, guys. And I feel like I'm right, but I also could be totally wrong. I feel like they come out next Tuesday. I feel like it's too early to say. There's a lot of football to be played, man. There's a lot. There's another upset weekend, somewhere out there. We almost saw it with Penn State against Wisconsin.
Yeah.
You're going to have some of those teams drop out, and they're not that great, that are 0-loss or 1-loss teams. And I think the College Football Playoff Committee, their bracket, their top 12 is going to look a whole lot different than the AP does, I feel. And that's just my opinion. Sammy says 4 SEC teams. Right now, I'll give you Georgia, Texas. Actually, I'll give you Texas.
Texas and Texas A&M played this year.
Right, and Texas A&M looks good, man. That kid at quarterback,
he's the real deal.
Yeah, wow. They have to stop playing games, stop putting Connor Wegman in there.
He's done. Do you think they put Connor Wegman in again?
They put him back in after Reed went off 3 games ago when Wegman was hurt.
Yeah, but after last night, I don't think he sees the field again. You can't.
Wegman will be a hot name on the transfer portal, though.
He will.
I'll pay a little bit of money for him. He's good. He's a good quarterback, but that Reed kid's something special.
Yeah.
So Georgia, give me A&M. I like A&M. Texas? Question mark?
With Texas, does that mean Texas
went real high there? So that's not very confident.
I'm
10-2.
LSU. I think LSU's out.
No, wait. Why is LSU out?
I just don't see it.
They lost their second game last night.
They lost their second game. I don't see them winning the SEC.
That wasn't a conference game, though.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What I was getting at is I don't see them winning the SEC championship game. So it'd be 3 losses. They're not beating whoever they're playing in the SEC championship game.
Well, they're not going to get in the SEC championship because
they're not. They can sit at home with 2 losses and still get in.
Maybe they're saving grace. Yeah.
I don't see it.
And Alabama's got 2 losses. But also,
I'm at 3. I'm at 3.
Alabama. Well, one of those 2 teams is going to knock each other out because Alabama plays LSU this weekend. So one of those 2 is out, right?
Yeah.
So I'm at 3. I'm at 3.
I think 3 is right. That's what I was going to say is 3.
Could be Georgia and 2 Texas teams. Who would have said that at the beginning of the year?
What about Tennessee though? What if Georgia beats Tennessee?
I know.
And they only have 2 losses?
Totally forgot about Tennessee.
They could backdoor their way in at 10-2.
Yeah, 100%.
It's gonna be interesting.
It's silly to say though. Who posed this question? Garrett?
Yeah, of course it was Garrett.
Moron. I mean, we have so much football left. Come on.
I don't know if the
he's a moron. He's a moron. He's a moron.
I feel like Garrett's a good guy. I feel like he's done. I feel like he's the right guy.
You could be.
Garrett also says Georgia doesn't control its destiny for the SEC championship game, FYI, and I'm just fine with that.
See, I disagree. I want in the SEC championship game. I want to win it.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So here we go, Eddie, because I say no, but then at the same time, I've thought about this. You're going to get a bye week either way.
Yes.
You're getting a bye week either way. This way, if you go Andy's way, you can win the SEC championship game. And that's big for Kirby. I don't know if it's still big for him with 12 teams and this whole playoff, but it was a huge thing for him was, SEC championship and getting those trophies. So you have that. And then you get to bye because you don't have to play that week. And then you get to see who's coming at you. You get to watch a really good film because both those teams are going to give you their best look. You've got to move on. That's the option for Andy. Now, your option, Eddie, is what? Don't go to the SEC championship game, but then
want no part of it.
But then hope and pray that you
talk it through it. So here's the thing: you don't want any part of it, but what that means, Georgia's got to lose another game. Okay, so we just went through a scenario where there could be potentially
not necessarily, but go ahead.
If Georgia goes 11-1, they're going to play for the
SEC. They're in the SEC. Yeah. Don't play that.
Sure?
Don't play that game, Eddie. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
Right.
No,
okay.
100%.
There's a lot of football left. All right.
If Georgia goes 10-2, there's a scenario that they can drop to the bottom of that line, and they don't get it.
Yeah. And also, I guess the only other thing you could say about the SEC championship game, and we're going to see it, right? We're going to see it whether it's Georgia or somebody else. The loser of that SEC championship game, how far do they fall? Because we saw it last year with Georgia. You go play in that game, and I only said the positives for your side, Andy, was that you could have the bye week. You go play in that game and you lose, that's the worst case scenario.
So that's my scenario. Okay, you guys are saying 11-1 is in. All right, I'll go with you. 11-1, Georgia goes and plays whatever. It doesn't matter. They lose that football game, okay? 11-2. Beat up. They lost some players. Where are we now? What happens next? We don't get a bye week, right? We go into the next week and we're off to the playoffs. You sit at home at 10-2. You have a bye week. Let those two teams beat each other up, and then you get a home game. That's the best scenario.
That
scenario.
Home game is dicey.
However, what if you don't make the playoff altogether?
There's no way you. There's no way you.
Georgia 10-2 is in.
All right.
Yeah, with that strength of schedule that they have, dude. If they leave Georgia out at 10-2,
that's a good point, Paul. You could very well play Penn State on the road.
Yes.
Okay?
That is
I don't know how that works out. That is a completely valid. I understand that. I don't give two craps about the SEC championship this year. Kirby can say he wants it, all that. It's completely changed this year. I don't care. I'd rather sit at home and go to the playoffs the next week. I'd take that bye week early. That's my scenario.
Now,
take it all day.
Sammy makes a good point. Says loser of the SEC championship gets a home game. That's not
necessarily.
No, but if that was the case, then of course, yeah, you'd go to the SEC championship. You'd want to fight for that. Yeah. But I don't think they can have a tie-in for that, right? Like, hey, you because there is going to be a scenario somewhere down the line where like a 9-3 team gets into the SEC championship game, and and it just so happens that they won all their games in conference, but they're out of conference. They lost. You can't give them a guaranteed home game because they wouldn't make the playoffs if they weren't there, right? I don't know. Michael Spire says better study the tiebreakers. If the tie is A&M, LSU, and Georgia, we would not go because LSU would have a win over Bama, common opponent, and we would not. Yeah, there is a laundry list of tiebreakers.
I'm not even going to read it till we get there. I mean, it's just
there's like 16 or 17. I'm not kidding you, Andy. There's like 16 or 17 tiebreaker that you just go down the list on with that. Marshmutt brings up another point that we've talked about numerous times. When conference championship games continue, they'll become secondary to the playoffs like the SEC baseball tournament. So I think this is a great year for that. It's a great year, a great study for that because there's not a dominant team. So these championship games are going to matter a lot more, and you're going to see some teams. I'm not going to say in every conference, maybe at least two conferences that two teams go in, and had they not had that conference championship game, both those teams would be in the playoffs. Two teams go in, only one's going to come out and be in the 12.
Right.
And this is going to be the year that shows that because there's, like I said, there's not a dominant team. There's only a few handful of teams that are undefeated, and it's not going to stay that way. So, I'm curious what ends up happening with that. Big Hoss says UGA Hoops getting an exhibition on Tuesday. What are we thinking about the Hoop Dogs this year? Brother, I'm all in.
Jacked up. Cannot wait.
All in, Big Hoss.
Early prediction, Paul. How far?
Oh, God.
This year?
Didn't I predict like something crazy last year?
Yeah, you said they were going to win every game like from now until like 2025 or something. But
yeah, 400-0.
We're going to beat them. We're beating them. I was like, well, slow down. But right now, bold prediction: do they make the tournament this year? Yes or no?
Yes.
Eddie?
They have to. That's the way I'll put it. They have to.
I think they will as well. So
yeah.
I think that's a little bit of home bias from us also. But
I mean, come on. I mean, we have some real players this year. I mean, Asa Newell.
No, Asa Newell is good. They got some real good shooters.
We actually have an inside presence too, which we didn't have last year and killed us, right?
Yeah.
So.
It's a good looking team, good looking roster. I'm looking forward to, and there's not many times where you can convince me to be like, hey, I'm looking forward to watching every Georgia basketball game. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because the Hawks started just they were playing right now.
2-0, baby. 2-0.
I watched that first game, dude, and I was like, I can't get invested in this team. Yeah. I can't do it. I want to.
They'll let you down. They're going to let you down.
They have three guys, Eddie, that look the exact same to me, and their numbers are like 1, 0, and 10. I can't tell them apart, dude. I'm trying to watch for them.
Did you watch the second game?
No. That's what I said.
That's your problem. You didn't watch the second game, okay?
I can't
because it was completely different. No, I mean this is a different team, okay?
The Hawks
54-46 right now, and they're going to be 3-0 after tonight. Yes.
The Hawks?
The Hawks. Yes. Just relax. Hey, as y'all said during baseball season, relax. It's an 82-game season. Relax. The difference with that 82 season in basketball and that 162-game season in baseball is the Atlanta Braves actually do win something. The Hawks never win anything. So that's fair.
Yeah. Until the Hawks win something, I'll never think they will. They got to prove me wrong.
Just put it in the back of your mind. Eddie said, "Watch the Hawks this year." That's all.
I will most definitely put that in the back of my mind because at the All-Star break, you're going to be like, "Man, this team sucks. This team
trade them all."
Trey Young, man. I hate him, man.
You have no idea. Shut up. I mean, come on.
I hate him so much, dude. Why couldn't we have got Luka or just anybody?
You know what? That's the thing that drives me crazy about this podcast and all the Twitter followers that rail on me. I call it like I see it, okay? I'm an emotional fan, right? I mean, sue me, kill me, whatever. I don't care.
Marshall brings up a good point, Eddie. We've switched islands for the Hawks.
Yeah, that's a great point. We swithed islands.
I'm over on Pessimism Island with Andy.
I love it.
The Hawks have never won anything. The Hawks have never won anything. It does matter.
That's irrelevant.
No, it's not.
No, I'm not saying they're going to win the championship, Andy. I'm saying they're.
So what are you saying?
Yeah, what are they going to
do? They're about to be 3-0. They're going to be the big dogs. So what are you saying?
Look at our record in the past. 3-0 is a big deal if they end up going 3-0. I'm saying they're going to make the playoffs and be competitive in the playoffs. They were not that last year, and they haven't been that in a while since 4 years ago when we made the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not saying they're going to win a ring. They're going to be better, and they're going to be more fun to watch. I keep making faces. You don't understand basketball.
It's kind of
go watch Bronny James play with his son. God. That's more fun.
It's kind of like when you eat McDonald's, right? It's a good idea at the time, but it never works out good.
But damn, it tastes good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
But these Hawks, look, basketball, Georgia basketball, I'm all in. I'll watch every game.
Yeah, okay. It's fair.
But Hawks, and also you can't look, here's the other thing, brother. You can't watch the games. You got to go through 7 different portals. You got to log in 6 different times. I don't have the law. I don't have the credentials for that.
That's
why
that's
isn't
not
it just
a
on?
me
Why
problem.
isn't it just on my?
I don't know. I can't help you with that. That's a FanDuel issue. You got to deal with that. So
Hey Eddie,
I'm with you there.
The Hawks started last year 4-2. So.
That's not 3-0.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Foster Moss says we're talking about playoffs.
No, the Hawks are not. Don't worry. The Hawks are not.
What? Not going to the playoffs?
No.
They're not going to the playoffs?
Look, Eddie, look, I'm not, we're losing viewers at a rapid pace right now.
Wait a minute. I mean, there's like 10 teams that go to the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. You can't do this play-in crap.
ridiculous.
The play-in crap. No, he's talking about the playoffs, 1 through 8, not 9 and 10.
That's what I just said. You're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, there's 10 teams.
Okay. All right, let's move.
Let's talk about a team that actually won a game. Let's talk about the Atlanta Falcons.
Morons. Yeah,
the Atlanta Falcons winning the Super Bowl this year, right?
I just want to say this is a UGA football YouTube channel, and we have talked more about the Atlanta Hawks than any radio station in this entire state has. In
the country.
The show is called Peach State Power Hour. Okay,
I get that.
We encompass everything.
They have 4 hours of radio content. We do this for an hour, and we've talked more about the Hawks than they have. I'm done.
Because y'all argued with me, and I'm right. So there we go.
The Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons beat the Bucs 31-26. They improved to 5-3, and more importantly, 4-0 in the NFC South.
Playoffs?
Wow.
Playoffs?
Where is it at? Hold on. Playoffs?
Right there.
There you go.
There it is. I don't know what to think about this team, man. I will say, I know this was the only game that we were going to talk about for this show, but my wife had me doing some honeydews, so I was watching out the corner of my eye. Couldn't watch the whole game.
I understand.
I saw that they won. That's good. I saw that they fumbled in the end zone. That's bad.
Which turned out to be a good thing, I thought. So yeah, I thought that was a good thing.
So hey, first off, Scott Anderson says, "Stand your ground. Hawks off to a good start." Scott Anderson has now been banned from any UGA sports viewing for the rest of the season.
Hey, follow me on Twitter, Scott. I want to talk to you, brother.
Yeah. Before we get too crazy, though, guys, we are going to, since there's no Georgia game, the M. Jones play and player of the game, presented by M. Jones, HVAC.com. Guys, they have already had several of you guys, I want to say thank you, reach out to them and have them service your HVAC needs based off of this show. That is huge. That's not only huge because you guys did it, but it's also that you trust us. We brought you to a good company and they were able to help you with your problem. So we're not just shouting craziness out here. There have been people that have reached out over here. You can go to mjoneshvac.com, go to contact right here. You can email Matthew or Michael. You can call them right here. You can also put a connect with us and tell them what your problem is. These guys have helped your brethren over here at UGAsports.com. And we are so thankful that you guys did that, because it shows to them that their advertising on this show is actually worth it. So we appreciate you. I'm not going to get too deep into the woods. It's about that time, Andy. It's getting cold.
It's getting cold and it's starting to cool off. Yeah.
Time to turn the heater on.
Tell them about the discount, Paul. Yeah.
Tell
about the discount.
I'm getting there, Eddie.
All right.
No, we have that heater getting turned on for the first time. It doesn't turn on just right.
No.
Guess what? Give mjoneshvac.com. Give them a buzz over there on their website. They'll help you out. 10% off of any repairs, 5% off of any new installs. And guys, don't forget, like Marshmutt says, EFA says prices are going up after 1/1/2025.
He's not lying.
He's not lying. Marshmutt's the man. So with that being said, the M. Jones play of the game. Andy, get it started.
So my play of the game was the fumble.
Was it really?
Yeah, and the reason it was the fumble is because it resulted in a safety. If Tampa Bay recovers that ball in the end zone and gets a touchdown, then it makes the score would have been 31-24 instead of 31-19. And it was at 31-19, it was still 2 scores. 31-24, it's a 1-score game. That would have changed a lot. So it sucked that the Falcons gave up a fumble, or a fumble in the end zone. But I think it worked out good that it went out and they got a safety instead of the touchdown. So yes, that was my M. Jones play of the game.
So your play is a crazy play.
It was a crazy play, but it was weird. It sort of saved them though.
So just to clarify, Paul, the discount, you have to put UGAsports.com in your comments or say that when you call M. Jones, okay, to get the discount. So there you go. There you go. Absolutely. They'll take care of you. I'm going to go with Jesse Bates on the second play of the game. This guy seems to do this every game. The punch out. That guy, I don't know how he doesn't break. You guys ever punch something? I know you
Paul
have.
has.
Andy, Paul's been in a fight.
Yeah, Paul's been in fights.
Yeah,
I mean, it is so easy to break your fingers if you don't punch right. And that dude, when he punches the football, it's just go watch that replay. He literally punches the football and knocks it out on the second play of the game, recovers the fumble. That next play, or maybe 2 plays later, is the Kyle Pitts touchdown, and that's 7-0 on the road. That's a massive play in that football game on the road. Jesse Bates is my favorite football player. He is a beast. I love that guy.
And his interception was huge too.
Oh yeah, the interception was Malachi Starks like, wasn't it? Oh man, what a play!
Hey Paul, who do you got?
Paul. Who do you have, Paul?
It was a pretty cool interception. Jesse Bates. That was my play of the game, but you took that.
My bad.
No, I didn't. I just commented. I didn't say that was my play of the game.
It's fine. We'll move on. That's fine. Jesse Bates is a hell of a ball player, though. We'll say that. Dude's a freak. Dude is an absolute freak. M. Jones, player of the game. I did not like your player of the game, Andy, because he is on one of the fantasy teams that I'm playing right now, and I have Drake London.
Okay. And no one cares.
I care deeply. And you know what? I had Jesse Bates on my team, and I cut him this week because he didn't do anything last week. And then this week
you play defense. You play defensive fantasy football.
We have defensive players. Yeah,
awesome. There's some that play defense.
Yeah, I've played that one time. There's just too many.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, it sucks that I
also Andy. What's weird is I also play in a league that they don't give you but like half a point for PPR, and then it's rounded down.
Oh yeah, that's Eddie's league. Yeah, that's Eddie's league.
Yeah.
And by the way, you don't have to play in it. It's not like I held a gun to your head.
Or did you?
You can opt out. Oh yeah. Get opt out. And actually, I'd rather have some other players that appreciate what I'm doing for them. But go ahead.
Yeah, appreciate them just giving 50 points to the quarterback and 4 points to Justin Jefferson when he goes 11 receptions for 120 yards.
Fine. I'd actually rather have somebody else. Go ahead.
What you got, Andy? Your player of the game?
I took Darnell Mooney. Yeah, he had 5 catches, 92 yards. He averaged 18.4 yards a catch.
Thank goodness for him, huh?
And he had a touchdown. Yeah. So
look, I'm going back to fantasy football, but I tried to get him in almost every one of my leagues, but I waited too long for him. Yeah. Kirk Cousins loves going.
He loves him. Yeah.
And you can look back at where Kirk's been. He's had that dominant one receiver, but he's always had that number 2 that he goes to as well. And Mooney,
he loves him. Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah, no doubt.
Who you got, Eddie?
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
23 of 29 for 276 yards, 4 TDs. Wait a minute. Here you go. 3 rushes for 16 yards. How about that scramble? I was like, well, I had to rewind it. Like, what are you doing? And by the way, that play was never looked at. It looked like a first down to me, the way he fell. They never even looked at it, but whatever. It didn't matter. But my favorite play, Andy, was the Mooney touchdown where Kirk looked to his right, and there's 3 receivers running a little pattern there.
Yep.
Boom, boom, looks to his right. The safety bites, and he throws it to Mooney on a perfect slant for a touchdown.
Dude, that pass, it dropped right in his hands. It was
perfect. Yeah. Kirk Cousins is awesome. I love the guy. Huge game for him today.
Yeah, he did really good.
So it's hard to not say Jesse Bates because he had 2 of our play of the games.
Yeah.
but I'm going to go with Kyle Pitts, man.
Yeah.
Two touchdowns.
That's good.
2 touchdowns for him. 4 receptions, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. If we can somehow just get him, and I'm not saying you got to go 491 and 2 every game, but if we can get him like 575, 5 receptions, 75 yards a game, man, this offense. I don't know what to take about this Falcons team, but I will say they are fun to watch, and they have an offense now, and it's not trying to watch. You'd rather watch paint dry than watch a Falcons game. They have an offense that'll keep you in the game, so I'm cool with that.
But that's a great pick, Paul. But wasn't that what we've been waiting to see out of this guy when he was running down the field like a deer, untouched on that slant to it, and we're all like, there it is. There's the Kyle Pitts we want to see, right? That's the number 4 draft pick.
Now I still don't think that they have a little while for the 5th-year options, right? Or did they already?
Yeah.
I still don't think he's worth whatever it's going to cost, 20-something million, 18 million, whatever it's going to cost to bring him back.
Yeah.
But like to get as much out of him as you can this year.
Absolutely.
So before we get to the Braves, Andy, take us around the world of the Georgia high school.
Well, so we had North Oconee beat Flowery Branch 63-7 to improve to 9-0. It's a college out there. I mean, that's just crazy how good they are.
And how good they became kind of
so
quickly.
Fast. Yeah. Because it was, when I was younger, it was only Oconee County. And then all of a sudden they have, we got to split it up. And next thing you know, North Oconee is the college of Oconee County. So
yeah, they're crushing them.
Speaking of Oconee County, they beat Monroe area 20-0 to improve to 5-4. Dude, what happened to your team? See, if you would have went to the game and watched, like
What's
I asked
Monroe
you.
area's record now, Paul?
Well, it's not looking great. It's not looking great, Eddie. We started off. Are we 4-5 now?
I think that's what I saw. Yeah, or 4-4. They're 4-4. So
okay.
Yeah, we're not looking. Yeah, we're 4-4. We're 1-3 in the region. We started off hot. We're just not doing well right now. It's okay.
Yeah.
Another powerhouse, Buford. They beat Mountain View 49-7. I mean, just.
Do we have any close games this week?
Sorry, who the hell is Mountain View? I'm sorry, who's Mountain View? I don't know.
Mountain View is the Gwinnett County team.
Okay.
I didn't
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Low end Gwinnett County football team.
Okay.
Yeah. Milton beat Johns Creek 56-0. But here's a close game. Piedmont Academy. They beat Athens Christian 13-12. And of course, we checked in on Marist. They beat Lithonia 49-6. And they got Tucker next week. And I think we're going to that game this coming up Friday, right?
We're going. Nachos.
Is it Friday?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Come on.
Damn.
Paul's got us hooked up.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay. Harrison beat Hillgrove 24-14. They are the region champion now. They won, I guess
Clinched the region. Yep.
The region this week. Okay. And then Clark Central beat Alcovey. I've never even heard of that team. 48-3.
It is a school in Newton County.
Okay. They beat them 48-3. So
what's Clark Central? Let me look up the old fighting Pernos. 7-2, 5-0 in 5A Region 8.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. Coached.
Guess we lost to though. North Oconee.
Okay. Yeah.
Because why not?
Yeah.
Who doesn't lose to him?
Scott Anderson shouting out his team. Says Calhoun is undefeated in region play. There we go. Yeah, Foster.
Yellow Jackets.
They're not great. But hey, hopefully they'll get a little bit better there. For our last 5 minutes of the show, we always seem to give ourselves just enough time here for the Atlanta Braves. The off-season wish list for the Atlanta Braves. Where do we go here?
Well, there's a lot of we don't know who's going to be a free agent. We don't know what guys are going to be available for trade. So I didn't get specific with guys I wanted. I went more with a position type thing. So I would like the Atlanta Braves to go get a hitter that can bat in the number 2 slot. If it's a left fielder, if it's a shortstop, and can have a 375 OBP. I want a guy.
So you didn't name a guy, but you wanted these exact measure. You want bat second, 375 OBP. Does he have to have like brown hair? What
Well,
about
maybe
facial
if he
hair?
can be 5'11", 193 pounds would be good.
Facial hair or no?
Yeah, a little scruffy beard, nothing crazy, but
Okay.
Something like that. But I want a guy that can hit 370. I don't want a guy hitting 320 or hitting 290. I want a legit guy in the 2-hole because Acuna will be there back in the 1-hole. So I want a guy in the 2-hole that can be a legit on base.
Really?
Guy.
You think that? And let me ask you that. You think he goes back to the 1-hole when he's healthy, completely healthy?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no way he won't. Yeah, he'll be. The only way they wouldn't be in the 1-hole is if they somehow get the second coming of Ichiro Suzuki.
See, I don't think he will. I think Snitker's going to.
What is he batting then?
5.
Ronald Acuna?
Yes, and
All right, it's me and Andy finishing up the show tonight. That's crazy.
The 5-hole?
Why is that crazy? I'm talking about the pressure off his knees, which he's had 2, by the way, guys. 2.
Nah,
okay, that's not something to just snip. Okay, fine.
I see what you're saying.
I'm the clown.
Look, Bobo. Look, I see where you're going with this, with the take pressure off the knees. But dude stole 70 bases. You can't move. He was the best leadoff hitter in the game.
Now he's had 2 ACLs. 2. Okay, that gets right here in your head, Paul. That's okay. All right.
I see where you're going.
Go tear your ACL and get back to me. I've done it.
Well, I see where you're going, but I disagree.
Nick Chubb's out there running the football in the NFL. He's tore it like 17 times.
Nick Chubb is an alien. Is
Ronald Acuna not an alien too?
Did you watch him the year after his ACL? He was extremely tentative. Extremely.
He was. But I get what you're saying.
2. Now he's got 2. You just keep doing that, Paul. You keep making that face.
Well, I'll move on to my two other on my wish list while you guys hash this out.
It sounds like Eddie wants to sincerely whoop my ass right now.
I mean, I think I'll need to go squash this.
I'd love to whip your ass right now. I mean, I was looking at your face. I'm like, where am I going to punch this guy? I can see on your face where I'm going to punch you.
While you guys squash it, I'm going to continue with my wish list. I want to re-sign Max Fried. You know I love Max Fried. He's my guy. I know you can.
All right, and so it's going to be
that face. I agree with, Paul. I'm with you there.
Me finishing up the show. What are we? What? What?
Dude, Max Fried. I understand, and we're gonna. I just talked about health.
Let him.
As long as he's healthy, he's an ace. We've got to have an ace. We got to have an ace, and you actually have to have 2 aces in baseball these days. And that leads to my next one. I want a fully healthy Spencer Strider. Because if you
have 3 aces, then you'll have Strider, Fried, and Sale.
Yeah, what does that give you? World Series championship.
Maybe
you only lost it.
Yeah, you got to bat. You still got to hit the ball, right?
Well, that's why I said we go out and we get a high OBP guy to go along with Ronald Acuna, who's healthy, coming back, hitting in the 1 slot.
You didn't say that.
A little bit of facial hair. A little bit of facial hair.
I said Ronald Acuna would be back. What are you talking about? I said in the 1-hole, and you said no, he's not going to be in the 1-hole. I said yeah, he's going to be in the 1-hole.
No, you just said I know you just said we go get another guy that fills that need, right? That hits the ball.
Yeah,
I said that a minute ago.
That's a 4th thing. Okay, all right.
No, that was his first point.
My first point: get a guy that can hit 375.
The whole beard guy.
The whole beard guy. He's going to be left fielder.
You didn't say specifics. I'm sorry. I'm thinking specifics in my mind. That's fine. You're right.
All right.
Anyway,
Eddie, what you got, Eddie? What's your 3?
Willie Adames. Just sign him.
Yes, sir.
I'm tired of it.
There we go.
Alex Anthopoulos. Just do it. 2.
There's my 1.
Max. Bye. Go away, Max. You can go be a wussy and have your little finger injuries and your blisters elsewhere at the Dodgers. Fine. Sean Manaea, sign him from the Mets. Bring in that left-handed pitcher from the Mets, and we're done. And I'm not even worried about Soler and the DH and all that kind of stuff. That'll sort itself out. Those are my 3 wishes.
You only had 2 wishes.
That's 2, dog. Your counting's a little. Yeah, it is.
Sign Willie. Let Max go. Sign Sean Manaea.
So letting Max go is a wish of yours?
Man, you suck.
Yes.
Dude.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Well, I will. I'm tired of the guy. I'm done with him.
Okay. Willie Adames at shortstop. You have to. And then please, here's the problem. And I trust AA to find us a way out of this. But you have Soler signed for a lot of money. You got Ozuna. You've got a log jam kind of like you want Acuna to not play in the outfield when he first comes back. So what are you going to put Ozuna in left field and Soler in right field? That's a recipe for disaster.
You still have Kelnick. I mean, but
you're not going to sit.
Do you think Kelnick's back, Andy?
I think he gets traded. I think he's a part of a trade.
Yeah,
so.
See, I don't think he's back either. Do you?
Here, number 3. No, I don't think he's back either. Number 3, my third one. This might be my second one. I don't know. Either way, we're running out of time. I can't keep up now. Keep Whit Merrifield.
Oh, I like that.
That's good.
I like him a lot, man. He might just be, and it's crazy to think that a utility guy can be the leader of your ball club, but he's got that leadership ability, and I like him a lot. I think you bring him back just if only. I mean, dude, the last guy on the bench for the Braves has just been god awful the past few years. If even if he doesn't play much, bring him back. He can play every position. He can literally play every position. Bring him back. There's room for him on this team. There's mine. Guys, somehow we made it through an hour. We actually went over an hour, and we did it on a Georgia bye week. We appreciate all you crazies that stayed with us for this show. We will be back next Sunday, Georgia, Florida. Who the Falcons have next week, Andy?
Dallas Cowboys.
Primetime game, 1 o'clock?
I think it's a 4 o'clock game. I think. Hang on, I can tell you.
The old 4 o'clocker. Time, Eddie. The 1 o'clock?
4 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Yeah, it's at 1. Yeah.
1 or 4 o'clock, Eddie? Which one you like more?
I like the 1. I get home about 2 o'clock from the gym, and I just kind of watch the game at my own leisure. It's perfect.
I feel like I like the 4 a little bit more if it's my team because everybody can watch them if we're good.
Yeah.
The 1 o'clock's got a lot going on. There's like 10 games going on, whereas the 4 o'clock there's just 2 games, and that's it. So we appreciate you guys watching. We will see you next Sunday for the Peach State Power Hour, and that's Andy Stowe. That is Eddie from Acworth sporting a cool little hoodie right there. I like that. And we'll get some stuff over on Twitter. We're all going to meet up apparently at the Marist game on Friday, so we'll get some pictures. We'll show you how tall Eddie is, and we'll go from there, guys. We appreciate you so much. This is Paul Maharry signing off for the Peach State Power Hour presented by M. Jones HVAC and UGAsports.com. Thanks.